Just because Federer lost this Wimbledon Final doesn't mean he can't learn from his performance that day. In fact, Roger did execute some great tactics that brought him a lot of success, even if the final outcome wasn't the one he wanted. In 2015, Novak Djokovic and Roger Federer faced each other to decide the men's Wimbledon singles champion. After 2 hours and 56 minutes, Novak ended up winning 7-6, 6-7, 6-4, 6-3. In the last video, we talked about the main tactics he used to win this match. Now, I want to talk about the tactics that brought success to Federer even though he lost. Before we start, if you haven't seen the last video, I invite you to check it out. I'll leave you a link on the video description below. Having said that, let's get started. The first aspect that was key for Roger was his serve, in particular the placement of his serve. When you look at where Roger placed the first serve, you can see that in most cases he went for a similar distribution between the wide serve and the T serve on both the deuce side and the ad side. For the second serve, he kept that even distribution, but he used the body serve more often. To better understand how good this distribution worked for Roger, I decided to create the following table. This table is divided in 4 parts. First serve on the deuce side, second serve on the deuce side, first serve on the ad side, and second serve on the ad side. Each part has 5 columns. The first column tells us the type of serve Roger hit. The second column represents the percentage of each serve in. The third, the fourth, and the fifth column tells us the percentage in which a particular serve got Roger good results, neutral results, and bad results. And in case you are wondering, I consider good results as aces, missed returns of serves, with returns of serves, and points where he got the opportunity to win the point by serving and volleying. For neutrals, I consider Roger's serves where Novak returned the ball with a little bit of depth, a shot that landed between the service box and the baseline. And finally, for bad results, I consider the serves where Novak hit a big return, a shot that made Federer miss, put him in a defensive position from the beginning of the point, or made him lose a point where he tried to serve and volley. The criteria I use to consider a serve as effective is if the bad results are below 25%. That means that for every 4 serves, at least 3 don't allow your opponent to take control of the point. This is very important because even if the return is considered neutral, the server has the opportunity to build the point on his or her terms. As you can see, Roger's numbers for the first serve on the deuce side match the criteria we just discussed. His numbers for the first serve on the ad side are also effective, even if he had some bad results about 25%. These results are for serves he rarely used. As for the second serve, his numbers on the ad side are great, while he did struggle during his second serves on the deuce side. All this brings us to the first tactic that brought great success for Roger, and that is serving and volleying. Roger tried to serve and volley on 22 points, winning 16 out of those. That means this tactic was effective on 73% of the cases. And on top of that, this tactic allowed him to win points at very important moments, in particular during the second set tiebreak where he served and volleyed twice, both times on second serves on the outside, one to save a set point and the other to take the set. The second tactic I believe brought Roger good results was forcing Novak to come to the net. If my numbers are correct, Roger used this tactic on 12 points and won 10 out of those. And if you look closer, the only time Roger broke his opponent's serve, Novak missed 2 points at the net. In most of these points, Roger hit a short slice to force Novak to move forwards. Once Novak was at the net, he went for the passing shot or a lob. It's important to let you know that the key of this tactic was the way Novak not being at the net. This strategy worked because Roger forced Novak out of his comfort zone. Novak was forced to come to the net on Federer's terms. So it's important to differentiate this tactic from the amount of times Novak went to the net on his terms, in which he won 20 points. Finally, there is one last aspect I believe is worth mentioning. Even though Roger lost the majority of the cross-court exchanges with his backhand, he did some pretty interesting things on the ones he won. As I said in the last video, one of the tactics that helped Novak win this match was forcing Federer to hit rolling forehands, and in the majority of cases, he did so by first engaging with Roger in cross-court exchanges with his backhand. Roger tried to get out of that situation by hitting backhands down the line. However, since going down the line from that position is very hard, most of his shots landed at the middle of the baseline, giving Novak the opportunity to hit cross-court forehands that forced Roger to run. Nevertheless, there were points where Roger handled this situation in a very smart way. During these points, Roger mixed his shots with his backhand. Sometimes he used topspin and sometimes he used slice. When this worked, Roger got 3 different responses: a backhand slice from Novak, a shot that landed at the middle of the baseline, or Novak changed direction by hitting down the line without causing much damage. For the first response, the backhand slice, Roger got the opportunity to hit a backhand down the line after it. For Roger, handling slice shots with his backhand is easier than handling heavy topspin or flat shots. So, in contrast to when he tried to go down the line after a topspin shot from Novak, this time he did a lot of damage because his shots got the necessary accuracy. For the second response, the shots from Novak that landed at the middle of the baseline, he did a lot of damage by running around his backhand to hit inside-out forehands. And finally, for the third response, the points where Novak changed the direction of his shots trying to make Roger run. Because Roger hit before a cross-court backhand slice that has a low bounce, Novak's main goal is to lift the ball over the net. He is forced to take some speed out of his shots to make sure the ball drops in. This meant Roger had the opportunity to hit cross-court forehands that forced Novak to run. In short words, the backhand slice allowed Roger to reverse Novak's tactic. This time, it wasn't Roger the one hitting down the line shots that didn't cause damage. It was Novak. The bad news for Roger is that combining these 3 scenarios allowed him to win only 8 points. Here's when I'm going to take the liberty to make an observation about something I believe could have given him better results. You see, if my numbers are correct, during 16 points, Novak hit a cross-court backhand slice, and in only 2 of those points, Roger hit a backhand down the line after it. In the other 14 points, Roger hit cross-court with his backhand. I believe Roger would have had better results if he had decided to use the backhand down the line after Novak hit with slice and the cross-court backhand after Novak hit with topspin. First, it could have decreased the amount of times Roger's shot landed at the middle of the baseline, and second, it could have allowed him to attack Novak on more points. Of course, this is easier for me to say after the match is over and I had taken my time to gather all the numbers. I just thought that in spite of that, it was something interesting to share with you. In general terms, these tactics are the ones I believe gave Roger better results. Now the question is, what can we all learn from Roger's performance during this final and use during our matches? In my opinion, Roger taught us 3 very important things that every tennis player can replicate during their matches. First is that with your serve, placement is more important than power. One of the reasons Roger had very good numbers with his serve against one of the best returners of the game is because of the accuracy he has. A serve well placed does a lot more damage than a very fast serve that has no accuracy. Practice placing the serve where you want instead of serving faster. Second is to think about how to get your opponent out of his or her comfort zone. Players could be great at the baseline, but they could also struggle at the net. Players might have very powerful shots and might still struggle with their movement. Find out where your opponent struggles and take advantage of it. And third is to think about variety. Remember that there are different spins and heights in tennis, and it's important to consider these factors during your matches so you can choose the shots that give you better results. I don't want to say goodbye without asking your opinion about this analysis. Do you share my opinion or do you disagree? Please let me know in the comment section. Also, as I said in the last video, I created a Facebook group for the people that want to talk about strategies, share their experiences or ask for advice. I will leave a link on the video description in case you want to join us. And last but not least, if you like this video and want to see more analysis like this in the future, subscribe to this channel and turn on the notifications. Once again, my name is Jorge, thanks for watching and I will see you on the next one.